Thanks for joining me for another episode of Make It Monday. I'm Tequila B with TruLuv Designz, and today the pattern that we'll be working on is the tote bag by Sweet Red Poppy. Make sure you've downloaded the correct pattern. She does have a couple on her website, but it is the tote bag that comes in 5 different sizes. So it's a simple PDF that you should have already put together and cut out. It was 10 pages total. There are 5 bag patterns. Make sure you've chosen the size that you'd like to sew. You have your pattern pieces cut out and you are ready to go. Let's get into this sew along. Here's a quick tip for cutting out your pocket piece. I'm making the small, which is the area outlined in the pink, and that's my pocket area. I'm going to take my scissors. To make it easier, I'm going to fold my paper just a bit so that I can make a clean cut into the center of my pocket area. Then I'm going to just cut up to the pink line, and I'm going to cut around, leaving an opening for my pocket placement. And now you can easily mark your pocket placement onto your fabric. So let's start with our 2 pocket pieces. Starting with your interfaced pieces, you're going to put them right sides together. You're going to pin all the way around all 4 sides, but make sure you leave a 2-inch opening so that you can turn your pocket out. And I am flagging my 2-inch opening, which is more like 3 or 4 inches, tagging it with these yellow pins. So we're going to leave this part open, pin all the way around. Now that you have that pinned, you're going to stitch all the way around at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Remember to backstitch at the beginning and the end and leave this part here open. Okay, now that you stitched your pocket, you left the opening, you're going to trim down your seam allowance by half. Now you want to clip your curves and be careful not to clip into the stitching. And then you're also going to clip across your corners, not the stitching, but clip around across your corners. Clip across your corners here to help reduce bulk. Okay, you're going to turn your pocket inside out through the opening that we left. Okay, once your pocket is turned inside out, you're going to take this to your ironing board and press it. Make sure that you press the opening towards the inside so that when we top stitch this, it will stitch it closed, okay? Now that you've pressed it, you're going to stitch all the way around all 4 sides at 1/8 of an inch, and this will help close our opening. So your outer pieces are going to be the pieces that are interfaced, and your lining pieces are going to be the pieces that are not interfaced. For your lining pieces, you're going to mark your straps with your fabric right side facing up. And that's where the little rectangles are. I cut mine out here so that I can mark directly onto the fabric. And I'm going to go ahead and also mark the corners for my pockets so that it can be my guide to place my pocket. If you'd like, you can go ahead and mark the whole thing, but to make it simpler, I'm just going to mark the 4 corners. Then you're going to take your next lining piece. Make sure it is right sides up facing you. And you're going to mark where your strap should go. Now, optionally, you can create a second pocket and make a pocket for both sides of your bag. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just doing one pocket as the pattern calls for. But that is a little hack that you can do if you'd like. My camera didn't record this next part, but once you have your pattern placement guides on your fabric, you're going to take your pocket, line it up with the corners, and then you're going to pin it around the sides and the bottom. Once pinned, you'll sew all the way around, leaving the top part open, sewing at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Set this piece to the side, grab your straps. You're going to take your interface straps. You're going to fold them in half and pin along the long edge, leaving both ends open. Follow these steps if you are making your own straps. However, if you are using webbing, use the strap pattern piece and fold your webbing in half and cut it at the guide that corresponds to the size of the bag that you will be making. This part you will not have to do. Just follow the next steps for placing your straps. Once you have both straps pinned, you're going to sew along the long edge at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, leaving the ends open. Now that you've stitched your long edge, you're going to trim down the seam allowance by half. Then you're going to take your loop turner or a safety pin and turn your straps inside out. Once you've turned both straps out, you're going to take them to your ironing board and press both straps flat. Now you're going to take both straps and you're going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance down both long sides. Now that you have your straps completed, you're going to sit those to the side. Now we're going to take our main body pieces, right sides together. This is our bottom. So we're going to put our right sides together. You're going to pin along the sides and along the bottom. Do not worry about this part here or this part here. Just going to pin around the sides and the bottom, and then you're going to stitch at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now that you've stitched your sides and the bottom, you are going to take it to your ironing board and press your seams open. Now that you've pressed your seams open, we're going to work on the bottom of the bag. So you're going to take these corners and you are going to match up your seam lines here. And if you can get them exactly right and matched, it will give you a more professional look. And you're going to just pin across this corner. Should look like this. You're going to pin the other corner the same way. Then you're going to take it to your sewing machine and sew at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance right across the corner. Once the corners are sewn, press the seams open. Once you've pressed those seams open as best you can, you're going to take your 2 lining pieces and you're going to repeat the steps that we just did for the 2 main pieces, okay? Right sides together. With your right sides together, you're going to sew down the sides, down the bottom. You're going to press sides and bottom seams open. Then you're going to gather your corners, right sides together at the seams, stitch across, clip your corners to reduce the bulk, and then press those open. So now we're going to put on our straps. And what you want to do is when you pin these on, make sure that your bag lining with the pocket is facing you. So it should be right sides up. Hopefully you can see the markings that you made. If you didn't, go ahead and mark those on this side of your fabric. But I'm starting on the side with the pocket up facing me. And I'm going to put my straps on. Make sure you put these on so that they are not twisted. So strap should be flat out. Just bend it like that and put it on the strap placements or your strap markings. And what I'm going to do, because we're going to baste at a 1/4 inch away from the raw edge, so I'm going to take my seam guide and a marking tool, and I am going to make me a mark that's a 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. That way I can use it as a guide for my stitching. Okay, so once you have that marked, you're going to pin it lining up the raw edge. Okay, and you'll do the same thing for the other strap on the opposite side. Okay, once you have both straps pinned on, you're going to use a basting stitch and stitch right across the line marking that we made. So now that we have our straps basted on, we're going to leave our lining right sides out. Just make sure that all of your corners and everything is pushed out like so. Okay, then you're going to take the main fabric for your bag. It should still be inside out, and we're going to leave it that way. Now you're going to put your lining, which is the part with the pocket, inside of your main bag. Okay. Make sure your straps are inside. Okay, sandwiched in between the lining and the main bag. Okay, so first we're going to take our side seams. We're going to match up our side seams and pin. And I just always use a different colored, I just always use a pin with a different color ball head to mark where my seams are and to mark any openings that I have to leave. Match up both side seams. Okay. Then you're going to make sure that the raw edges, you're going to pin your raw edges all the way around, leaving a 2 to 3 inch opening so that we can turn this out later. Depending on the type of fabric that you're using and how thin or thick it is, you may want to leave more of like a 4 to 6 inch opening so that it's easier for you to turn this inside out. The thicker your material is, it'll be a little bit harder. So it's up to you. Either leave a 2 to 3 inch opening or about a 4 to 6 inch opening. For me, this is kind of thick, so I'm going to leave a 4 to 6 inch opening. And I'm just going to leave it open right past this first strap and right before my last strap. Okay. Once you have that pinned, you're going to take it to your sewing machine and sew at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way around. Be sure to switch from your basting stitch to your regular stitch length and back stitch at the beginning and the end. Okay, so now it is time to turn our bag inside out. Once your bag is turned completely inside out, you're going to push the bag lining inside the bag. The part where we left it open, you are going to make sure that those raw edges are pushed down into the bag so that you cannot see the raw edges. Then you're going to take it to your ironing board, give it a good press, paying close attention to the top edges, pressing so that you cannot see the lining from the outside of the bag. Once you've pressed your top all the way around, you're going to take it to your sewing machine and you're going to sew at 1/8 of an inch all the way around from your top edge, and this will also close your opening. Once you've done that, give your complete bag a final press with lots of steam and you are done. So you've just completed your tote bag and you are ready for the next Make It Monday project. Next month's project will be Simplicity S8899. It's this pattern here, and we will be sewing up View D, which is the bow tie. Now this is a very simple and easy project and will not take much material at all. Now, you can either choose to make your own bow tie strap or you can purchase your bow tie straps. I will leave a link in the description box below for the bow tie straps that I purchased from Amazon if you would like to do those instead. I will also show you how to make your own strap using fabric. So even if you choose to make your own bow tie strap with your fabric, you will still need the bow tie hardware. So you can either go ahead and just purchase the strap or just purchase the hardware. The next Make It Monday should air on Monday, May 27th. However, I am aware that this is Memorial Day, so a lot of you may be busy with family and friends. So I want to make sure that this is posted on a day that would, be beneficial to everyone so that you can catch it when it first comes out. So for the month of May, we are going to do Make It Monday on Tuesday, May 28th. It will air at 10 a.m. So make sure that you have all of your supplies and material on Tuesday, May 28th. I look forward to seeing you on the next Make It Monday. I hope you're enjoying the Make It Monday series. If you are, or you plan to join us in the future with the sew along, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the next Make It Monday episode. Until next time, keep sewing.